Okay, so maybe, sorry, I'm having issues speaking right now and words. Um, Maybe it should have been particularly obvious to me, now, that I should have already talked about this because it's one of my most affected parts of having autism. I hate saying high functioning because I feel like it's more of a seesaw. I don't think by any means like low functioning, but I think it's more like sometimes I'm mid high to high, more times mid high. Um, if that makes any sense, especially with communicating and with what I'm about to talk about, which is slow processing. So one of the most okay, so it doesn't really bother me that it doesn't really bother me that much. So it doesn't really bother me that much. Like any of it, I'm completely okay. It's who I am. I don't think I could think or be any different. I think that would just be weird. Okay. Um, which I guess is, I don't know, maybe I'll comment on this at the end of the video. But my issues with how heaven has always been described to me as. Or maybe I'll even make a separate little clip about that, I don't know. However, so slow processing is irritating. I can deal with it, and I wouldn't ask for a miracle cure. Anyway, what it is though, and how it affects me, is that, especially when communicating with other people, they'll be talking to me, and if they ask me a question, it irritates me how long it takes to answer them and to, process what they said. Like, it'll be 5 seconds later, and I'm like, oh, okay, and then I'll still have to figure out whatever the answer was, because I will just then process what they've said to me, and then while driving, this is an issue. This is really an issue because my mom will tell me that I'm getting too close to the side of the road, and I'll have to process that, and then while I'm in the middle of processing it, she'll say it again, and it freaks me out, and I get more anxious. So driving is not fun for that reason, because if I realize that it takes me longer to realize that I'm drifting than normal people. And I was always terrified of driving anyway. So, besides that, and then at work, I carry huge boxes sometimes, and they're particularly bigger than me, and I'm walking down a somewhat narrow aisle with other people, and I won't process that this box is going to hit them until it's pretty much hit them while I'm walking, or someone will come around the corner really quick, and I won't process that they're there until I've touched them, even though I saw them like 5 seconds ago. It's like, or I'll be picking socks, okay, and then we won't have the sock for something, so I'll put a dot there, or maybe I'll forget or whatever, and then I go to the next sock, and it's there, and I check the UPC number and everything, and I do everything right, and it's like, okay, good, this matches, and then I'll mark off the one that wasn't there, and I'll have to mark out my initial, write what stock it was at the bottom of the list, whatever. It's a process, and I always feel like when I do that, I have to hang on to this ticket, because if I don't, someone else is going to get it, and they're going to think that stock's in there, and it's not, and I accidentally signed it off because I And sometimes I'll process it while I'm writing it, and then I'll be like, fuck, it's irritating. Or I'll process it half through and there's just a line on my sheet, and it's like, or my initial is supposed to be, and it's like, I'm glad I caught myself. I'm glad it's not an actual initial. So that is how it particularly affects me, is that it takes me longer to realize what's going on. Sometimes that does get bad in social situations, because I won't catch on to a joke as fast. Again, someone will be talking to me, and it'll seem like I'm zoned out, even though my brain just hasn't processed what you said yet. So that is in the way that, slow processing, it definitely is one of the things that stands out that affects me severely, pretty much. It affects me every single day, without fail. So, yeah. But again, I wouldn't take a miracle cure. I couldn't imagine myself being any different. You know, to outsiders that may seem like a dumb thing to say, is that, you know, I wouldn't take a cure for it, but I wouldn't, you know? There is no miracle cure. I understand that, and I accept it, and I'm completely okay with dealing with it the rest of my life, and I don't want to change myself or cover up who I am, like, River's friend says into them, and I am perfectly okay with being as weird as I am, and being as different. It just irritates me sometimes, when I do shit like that, and I have to realize that what I did was just wrong, and I have to fix it, or I have to apologize to people all the time because I've run into them. Or I'll even be in, like, normal social situations, and I'll do something like touch my friend's arm, like, without even thinking, and then I'll process what I did, and I'll be like, that was weird, I shouldn't have done that, I have touched another person, because sometimes I get into this emotion where touching other people, not allowed, not even my boyfriend, who I would kill for, die for, whatever, any of that. I love him so much, and I love to cuddle usually, but sometimes I will get in this state of mind where it is wrong. I do not need to be touched, and if I am touched, it is bad in every sense. I have this personal bubble, which I don't like being around people very much anyway, even though I want to go to concerts, which seems like a really smart idea for me, I'm sure. You can just imagine spending all that money and then getting to the concert and being like, I can't be around all these people. I usually can't. I had an anxiety attack in the subway in New York. It was not good. And I did not have supportive people around me, so I talked about that extensively in my New York vlog. But I don't even remember what I said in that video, so I cannot promise you that it is a good video. Wow, the black part of my hair is insane right now. And then I have to say a lot because I have such a difficult time speaking sometimes. I hate when I want to ask somebody something or I want to talk, and I'm already mid-conversation with somebody and the words just will not come out. My mouth will not open. I'm like, I am not embarrassed to say this. I am not afraid to say this to this person. Why can't I speak? It's like I've gone mute for a short period of time, and it sucks because I just want to speak, but I can't. I would get up in class to do my senior project, and it wasn't like I was embarrassed, because I wasn't afraid to talk in front of these people. I did it all the time when I would ask questions, but it wasn't even that I choked up, I just couldn't speak, could not speak, and it'll just get like that. I'll be talking to somebody and I'm like, and I'll have to start talking with like sometimes I won't even be able to make any noise at all, and I don't know why. But yeah,